Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
Mickey Mouse, as well as many other characters from the early days of animation, would wear white gloves because it made it much easier to see the hands and animate them.
Very good. Is that true?
I have no idea. Who is that?
Okay. That's Cameron. This is Bret Iwan, who knows a thing or two about Mickey Mouse, I guess you could say. Sure. And will be joining us tonight on Geeks Corner. Welcome, Bret.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bret and I are buddies that like trains together, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But first, we're gonna hit. Well, go ahead.
You're gonna talk to us.
That's right.
Use the
you
hashtag
are.
Geeks Corner, because we're gonna talk about stuff, and we'd love for you to talk at us, and we might even talk back at you, and that's the extent of the conversation.
Yeah.
And we might even say what's in
the box.
The box, the briefcase, the. I don't even know what that is.
It's a thing.
Attaché.
Attaché. I like that. That sounds.
Clutch, but yeah, I like attaché. It's very.
Yeah,
good.
that sounds better. That's definitely better. This last weekend, Dapper Day was celebrated at the Disneyland Resort, and we were there in. Well, why don't you guys share what we did? In style. There we go.
We were there. It was great.
You were there.
And you were there. And you were there.
Not you.
Not you.
It's like, what did I get myself into?
I missed out this year, but I have gone in years past.
And
I've been known to be dapper myself.
How was it?
So Cameron, talk about what did we do for Dapper Day, and maybe Tyler can show some pictures.
We dressed up together in a group Dapper bound, as the kids say, for the Star Wars characters. There's us now, dear friend Kylo
Just
Ren.
hold on a minute. How much did Kylo Ren love you?
Oh yeah, so Kylo Ren would not let me get a picture in the group. It was
put him in the corner.
Fantastic. That's me in the background. And
that was the closest we
legitimately could not get a picture with Kylo Ren.
That was after he allowed you in.
Yes. So we all dressed up in our various bounds. We had a lovely time. There is a gentleman on the right named Luke. He probably had, I think, easy best of the night.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome.
He's one of the, what do you call them, the guiding droids? From Star Tours, there's the droid that, like, gets bumped by the ship when it comes in and says, stop.
And then falls.
That's what he did, and it's kind of amazing.
Thankfully, he didn't get bumped and fall over.
Hey, look, it and me.
And what were you, Cameron?
I was Chewbacca, because it was the most comfortable I've ever been on Dapper Day, because I got to wear a jumpsuit. It was
you
awesome.
chose what I was going to be, too, so what was I?
That is Old Grumpy Man Luke, specifically from the end of 8.
Brown and blue, right? And then, let's see what we got next. Katie?
That's me!
What was Katie?
I was R2-D2, because I have blue hair.
That's the extent of the reasoning.
That's all it takes.
Also, you're robotic and cold. Yes.
And then we had and then we had Darth Vader and Kylo Ren with us as well, with Caitlin and Danny, who came out from Arizona.
Yeah.
Talk about your favorite part of Dapper Day.
Favorite part of Dapper Day?
Yeah.
Taking off my shoes at the end.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. I was wearing the equivalent of heels because I wore some risers to actually be as tall as possible, and I even took some of them out, and still by the end of the day that was a painful experience, and I'm glad to have that done. An actual positive thing, I think my favorite thing was walking down Main Street to join most of you over in Tomorrowland, and I looked like I was a character out of Top Gun, didn't realize it until I put everything on, and some dude started singing Danger Zone on Main Street, and it was the best thing ever. So yes, that's
I didn't know that part. That's cool. Katie, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part easily was when we went to Frontierland, to the back of where Galaxy's Edge is going to be. Can you not make fun of my hand motions right now?
All right.
And we were taking the pictures because it was something I had envisioned, where Luke in the trailer and in The Last Jedi touches R2-D2's head when he sees the fire, and then he like falls on the ground and cries. So I had this idea.
It does not work.
That Mr. Daps should put his hand on my head because I was R2-D2. So then there's people walking to the back to see where Galaxy's Edge is.
And I couldn't stop laughing.
And they're looking at us, and I'm sitting on the floor. Mr. Daps has his hand on my head, and people are taking pictures, and they're just like,
what are you doing?
Are they okay? And I easily, best part. Stop it.
Did you want to add something, Tyler? You're just making faces. Oh, okay.
Just making fun of me.
Okay. My favorite part was probably our photo shoot in the launch bay with the blue walls.
Yes.
Because that was just really fun playing with light and
laying on the ground.
Yeah, we had to get some unique ways to take pictures, but they turned out great, I thought.
Using iPhone flashlights and a hand as a built-in screen to adjust lighting.
And it totally
it was very good.
We were MacGyvering everything.
Purses
It was
bouncers. It was.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right.
Sounds like I missed out.
You did.
You did,
Next
actually.
time, maybe.
What would I have dressed up as?
Go to the internet. Tell us what he would have dressed up as from the Star Wars canon. Yes, make it easy.
Yes.
Cool.
Seems like that would be appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go internet.
Okay.
Now we're gonna find out for sure.
Cannot wait.
What would you choose though, if you could choose?
Oh,
We'll let them choose for you, but you can
did
still
you guys have a
it.
C-3PO?
Did not
I've
have
got a pretty
C-3PO.
great gold,
You would have made
jumpsuit
Katie
that
so
I could've-
happy.
You would have had to hold your arms all day. Like, would we have strapped them up
Oh,
though?
would have been so good.
Or at least for the
that
pictures.
That pose alone is kind of dapper, bow ties.
Anthony Daniels could be in trouble. You were pretty good at that.
I am fluent in over 3 million forms of communication. So
Humble brag. Okay.
humble brag.
You know.
Sarah, toss my hair for me.
So continuing on with the Star Wars theme, there's a second Star Wars night that's coming.
Yes.
Are we surprised?
I am a little bit, just because I like the idea of the exclusivity of the events, and I get why they did it with the first one selling out so quickly. They're like, ooh, easy, let's do
Money.
that right there. I would have liked if they kept that and kept doing very original ideas and spaced it out. But from a business standpoint, yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
I was surprised they didn't announce it sooner, and I imagine that they probably were surprised that it sold out so fast, and then they scrambled to put dates together. But when I saw that today, I was like, oh, they are doing a second one, because I felt like they would have announced it 2 weeks ago, or at least had one coming, and then been like, oh, we were so surprised, we added a second one. But
How fast do you think this one's going to sell out? The first one sold out in a few hours.
It's a tight timeline in general, isn't it? It's only like 9 days from opening.
What is it, May
ticket sales.
9th?
May
Wow.
1st to May 9th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
May 1st ticket of sales open, May 9th. That's pretty tight, but
still think it's going to sell out
Yeah.
at
Day
least
of.
a day.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Would you want to go? I mean, you're already going,
I'm
but
going to the first one.
Yes.
like
and
if you're out of town.
I will be on the wrong coast for that one, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be fun. I think going to the second one may have a bit of a slight jaded expectation of not going to the only one, but you know what I mean. But
Wow, he wants the exclusive
that's
ride.
right.
He wants-
Either me or
He
no
does.
all
one.
about
Like,
He does.
exclusivity.
but yeah, easily I would have done it.
Okay, that's fine. Let's
fine,
move
it's
over
wrong.
I
to
need to buy my ticket now, actually.
yeah.
You can go to
Let's also
It's
talk.
sold out.
what?
Just kidding.
How many hours do you think it's gonna take?
12.
12 hours?
27.
Price of
27?
Red Bulls here.
I'm gonna Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
28.
Okay, and I'm not gonna. Really? Okay.
No, I just was being.
I'm gonna say 4.
Bailey, you're remembering this, yes?
Yes, Bailey will
have a
keep
chronicler
track and
that
let us
keeps track
know
of the
what you think. Disney's Animal Kingdom celebrated its 20th anniversary on Sunday, Earth Day, and they had a nice ceremony. They've got some new things that they announced. But first off, what does Disney's Animal Kingdom mean to you? What's its legacy over the last 20 years?
We're getting deep.
In the hearts
I
of
know.
every child,
I know.
nature speaks of bounds.
Ladies first.
Animal Kingdom, I think one of my favorite things about it is the conservation aspect and the treating our Earth as the only Earth we're going to get. And so having, when you go to Starbucks and you have the cardboard straws and all of those elements of protecting our Earth, I think is my favorite thing and what will continue to be the impact in the next 20 years.
Okay.
I think mine was the least amount of knowledge and expectation going into it led for the most interesting experience.
Yeah.
I was completely taken by surprise by a flock of parrots going around the World Tree at one point. I cried openly in the middle of the street as there was a giant flock of parrots.
And we didn't get video of
And we
this?
didn't get video of it.
I'm so disappointed.
I think it was this uniqueness of the park compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
Would be mine.
Okay. Brett.
I really like the adventure celebration at the end of the day when Mickey comes out with his little cavalcade. I think that's pretty.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm just kidding.
We're like, okay.
We were like, that's an answer.
If you want
Really
it, you
great.
got it.
No, I mean, I think I would echo everything you two said, and just the fact that it is a great example of Disney storytelling at its best, and the whole place is immersive. I mean, let's be honest. There's zoo aspects of the park, but it doesn't feel like that at all. I just love the fact that you enter into it and you're just kind of like transported into these different regions and lands, and and then the education aspect of it at the same time. Couldn't be anything better.
And following along, what's your favorite area? Or attraction. I'll give you
think,
that too.
Oh
Everest. I
man,
think
dude,
is-
don't take it.
I'm
You took
sorry.
that from me.
I'm sorry.
You can do it too, I
That's
guess,
pretty-
but What about Everest do you like the most?
The queue. I
completely agree
the
with that.
queue is the best part of that ride for me. Just that's one that I will not mind waiting in.
You can take
ever.
pictures for hours there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legitimately,
Yeah.
we went there, rushed through it because we had the pass to get on, and we went back solely to go stand in the line. It was that cool.
Yeah.
I mean, easy answer, Flight of Passage. It's a really good ride. But my favorite is also Everest because Joe Rohde made that attraction his baby. And if I can see the Yeti in its full glory someday,
Oh,
That's your goal in
you haven't
life.
seen that before?
well, it is
doesn't move
it's in
as
B
much,
mode,
does it?
Yeah.
and it only worked for the
I'll
first
recreate
year.
it for you.
That was amazing.
That could turn into a meme.
I don't need to go on Everest anymore. But I do want to see it get fixed and be the way it was imagined.
Okay.
I think I really enjoyed the kind of bazaar area. That's bazaar with like a double Z or whatever, like the shopping area. It's in Africa for the.
The Harambe Market?
Yes, that's the one.
That's a fun
I
area.
Really enjoyed that. Although my actual answer is Everest. It was the best. It's so good.
I like the safari.
It's very
Yeah.
I absolutely love the safari. And now that I've actually seen the male lion, like,
We got lucky.
yeah, he was standing and it was cool, and I got the picture that I'll never ever get in my life. But
That's awesome.
that only happened once. What's the one thing you'd like to see added or changed at Disney's Animal Kingdom moving forward?
That's difficult. More Dinoland USA, preferably.
I want to change that into Indiana Jones.
Of course you do.
I know.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be fun?
that would be
It's-
a
it's
perfect
already
place for
there,
that
I mean-
property, yeah.
All of it Indiana Jones themed.
Yeah.
Oops, all Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Oops.
It'd be amazing. Mixed with a little bit of Jurassic Park.
So you want to turn a little shopping area front Solo's just out there.
It'd be
like,
fun.
that
Yeah.
would be cool.
Like you
Yeah.
could do a lot though with Indiana Jones in
Yeah.
that area.
Mm.
Anybody else?
Cool.
Yeah,
Did you just say ah?
You have to really get it.
Are you trying to be Glomgold or something or what?
Yes.
Okay, DuckTales reference.
Good job.
Thank you. At least one person
It was
did. All right.
weak.
Anybody else got answers? What you'd like to see
I
added?
can't think of something I would enjoy change because I enjoy the experience.
What about added?
No.
Okay.
What about the dragons?
More dragons.
I'm stealing-
More
you
dragons are
mentioned that
always
earlier,
good.
But
More mythical beasts.
I mean,
More
We were
mythical-
promised mythical
yeah,
beasts.
do they even have any presence in the park right now? No.
There's
But
the Navi now, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that's true.
They're just
There's
fine
the
dragons.
dragons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced that yet.
They're
You need
basically
to.
dragons.
It's very good. All right. Well, let's talk about Bret because that's why you're here.
Okay.
Let's talk about
Tell us a
Bret.
little bit about what you're doing now, and then we'll ask you a few questions.
Okay, sure. Well, as Mickey, currently working on Mickey and the Roadster Racers, which is kind of a little bit of a follow-up to the Clubhouse World that was on and is still on.
But faster.
A little bit faster because race cars are
Gotta go
involved.
fast.
Mickey and his pals run a garage and they go on races and adventures that take them all over the world. And we
Getting a huge Fast and the Furious vibe. Yes! Oh my gosh.
It's the
Actually,
Disney version.
a name of one of our upcoming episodes is very similar to that. Yeah, we green light for season 3.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Started working on that, and it's a lot of fun. It's a fun new experience for Mickey to kind of be this race car driver.
What jobs has not that guy had, you know?
Right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's done everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Feels like it. I mean, he's a jack of all trades. But other than the show, we're gearing up for Mickey's 90th, which is happening
That's
all year.
super exciting.
That is soon.
So there's lots of fun stuff for him to do there. Yeah.
You've
That's
also got some other
Mickey
fun
stuff.
projects going on that's not necessarily Disney related.
Sure.
But it's a shared interest that we have. In
Yes.
fact, one of the first times we hung out, we spent the entire evening playing with your trains.
Yes.
Such a good sentence.
It's a good way to start a friendship, I think.
Yeah.
And that led to, I always had HO scale trains when I was a kid, but then I discovered you could do so much more and you could have them go around your backyard.
Yes.
And so I now have this as well. And you've been doing some really cool projects with trains the last couple of years with your dad. And you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, yeah, like you said, it started with, I grew up around trains. My dad had HO in our toy room, and then that expanded to a train that ran around the ceiling in the family room.
Which is something I've always wanted
HO?
also.
It was HO.
What is that?
Oh.
Oh, see that train right over there?
HO
That's
scale.
tiny ones?
Now you're gonna
Oh,
ask for
the ones
specifics.
right behind you.
They're
No.
tiny ones.
That's HO
Well,
scale.
there's even tinier than that, though, which is N, and then below that is Z. So that's,
And I don't honestly know how you would do those. Like, my hands aren't steady enough.
Yeah, very carefully.
Why do we
Have you
use
worked with
so many
those?
letters?
I haven't. I've
I could maybe do N, Z, I can't imagine.
Z. Yeah, no, that's like micro machines.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
can you imagine how cool that would be? Though?
how would you
your
get them
micro
on the
machines
track,
out.
though? I don't know.
Tweezers, I think.
It'd be like
Just
your train has a pet.
I would break them.
That train?
Yeah, it's a regular train has a little.
So anyway,
just like how humans have tiny pet
Sure.
humans.
Yeah, so you and your dad and
babies.
your brothers have done some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, so my dad, we had a family project that started probably only a year and a half, 2 years ago now. I have 3 younger brothers. They've all started having families of their own, and so with that came nieces and nephews for me, but grandchildren for my dad, my mom and dad. And my mom had bought them a little Tykes plastic train that we've all seen them, Thomas the Tank Engine type thing that goes around in circles. They loved it. He saw that and he said, well, if they're gonna like trains, they're gonna really like trains. And so he decided to build a replica. As they should.
Yes.
He built a half-scale replica of the old Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland attraction that used to be at Disneyland. So he found all his drawings and he built it from scratch. It's electric, just like the prototype was. So anyway, he built it. It's beautiful. It was much better than any of us could have imagined. And then the adults started going, can we ride that? And in fact, we can.
Yeah.
And so we set up a railroad. We have about 800 feet of track. It's 15-inch gauge. It runs on steel track that we hand-laid ourselves, which was a learning experience.
We'll talk about the track. I think this is cool because it'll go into what we talk about next with your projects.
Okay.
But there's 2 ways to make track, and you decided that you should go all the way with the track, right?
There was a brief moment when, for budget reasons, it was being considered to make track out of wood, essentially make it look like real track. I said no. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. So I started talking to great folks up at Hillcrest Railroad, or Hillcrest Farms, or shops, up near Fresno and Reedley. They have a 15-inch gauge railroad, and they've kind of become experts at steam equipment, and they've done some work for Disney. So I reached out to them. They were awesome at inviting me in and kind of showing me some things and sharing some info, which led me to finding a place that sells steel rail appropriate for this size of railroad. So we bought the rail. It comes in 30-foot lengths, delivered it up to the Sacramento area where the railroad is, and
you built trellises.
We cut down railroad ties, and then you lay the rail and spike it. Christmas Eve this year, I was wearing overalls spiking rail because we had to have it go around as far as possible.
And what's even cooler about this railway, I think, is that it goes both in the front yard and the backyard over the driveway.
Yes.
And there's this cool, what do you call it?
It's a trestle. It comes out the front and it goes around a trestle, and then there's a removable trestle on the driveway side. And if you're interested in seeing pictures, you can go to Iwan Locomotive Works is our Instagram.
And it's very
There's
worth
tons of
checking
pictures
out. It's really fun. And videos.
But,
and you're building a roundhouse too, right?
We built a roundhouse for it, or an engine shed, a little
That's a
station
better
platform. I built a water tower.
So
I just
basically,
recorded a little
you're
scratch narration for it, so it now
Nice.
has a soundtrack as you go around.
So basically, you're the coolest uncle ever. Is that
pretty fun.
That's what you're going for? Yeah.
Sunday night, I went around several times with my oldest niece, who just kept saying, "Let's go on a trip." And every time we came to the station, she's like, "Another trip?" And I was like, "Okay." Toot, toot.
How do you say no to that?
No, I mean you couldn't.
Now, are you narrating and coming up with a new trip each time around, or what?
We usually we were telling stories.
Oh, okay,
about
that
looking
works.
for frogs and crickets and stuff like that.
That's
But
adorable.
yeah, it's been a really cool experience.
I really enjoy, more so it seems like with the train community than any other hobby community, every story I've ever heard about it is always, oh, we had to go find somebody and we went and talked to them for a while. And I feel like that just doesn't happen with most things now. But now it's like, no, there was a guy over there and I went and had a conversation, we became friends, and then we discussed it. That blows my mind in the modern 21st century. I love it.
Well, I mean, it's this whole experience, trains and anything else, it's just been a great reminder to me that it's like, if you're willing to have the conversation and strike up the relationship, like, people are willing to share information regardless of what it is. Like, if you share something in common, you know, most of the time, you know, you come talk to me about art and design or railroading, it's like, I will tell you what I know. I'm not going to hold that in, because, I mean, we all just want to geek out with one another and
Pretty
find
much.
like-minded nerds.
So what's been the most been the most rewarding part of this process with the train?
I mean, not to be cheesy, but the niece's reactions is probably, I mean, they're at an age where they're just like, they run up to it.
Yeah.
And they love it. But then also,
Which hopefully they'll do for the next 50, 60 years.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll be doing
I mean,
as
that's
long as
okay.
I can. And the other part has just been getting to see my dad. He's gotten some attention.
Your dad's one of the
from
coolest
this.
guys I've ever met.
Well, thank you.
I
think so.
Like, you should tell his Instagram too, because he makes really cool trains.
I wish I knew his. I think it's
we'll put
Bill
it-
We'll throw it in the
Iwan.
description, yeah.
We'll
yeah,
find it.
we'll find it, put in the description.
But it's been really cool to see him get some attention for his. I mean, I do art and design and home renovation, and all these other interests of mine are all based on my dad's influence growing up. He was just a great craftsman. He always had a great imagination, and you know, my mom as well. She's super creative. But my parents' influence kind of spurred me on my journey, and so to see him now get some recognition for his talents, you know, we were invited by the group at Walt's Barn in Griffith Park to come show the train last summer at one of their barbecues, and the reaction of the guests was just amazing to see. Like, they thought it was the real thing.
It looks like the real thing.
Yeah. And so any part I've been able to play, just like going up there, putting in the hours with him to help build it, and just to see his vision come to life has been pretty rewarding.
You're talking about design. You
Yeah.
also you have another side gig that you do that's not really a side gig. It's pretty substantial.
My other job, yeah.
Talk about Bungalow Modern.
Bungalow Modern is my design company, whatever, I guess that's the best word for it.
It is.
Yeah, you know, before ever getting into voice acting and doing the Mickey gig, which I've probably bored enough people talking about in the past.
You're so boring.
I know.
How dare you?
You said you wanted to say that on camera.
Serial hate you.
Discuss this. Yeah, design and art have always been a passion of mine, and I bought a Craftsman home a few years ago, and through the renovations of that, I rediscovered a love for kind of working on older homes, and that inspired me to start a business where I was helping other people work on their homes, and that's just it's just one of those situations where things have kind of what's the word?
Evolved. Yeah.
Yes. And so now I've had a chance to work on designing a couple restaurants. I'm really doing creative consulting in that capacity, but a couple restaurants. Recently was consulting with a railroad museum up in northern Nevada. So that's been a lot of fun to combine those passions. Yeah, it's just another outlet of creativity.
Well, and it's been cool watching you do this too, because you started with, I've got this idea that you didn't really have nailed down.
Oh yeah.
And then you started doing one thing and you're like, well, I don't know how to do this, so I'm going to figure it out. So you keep adding to your resume of all these different things that you do, whether it's rebuilding the cart?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you know,
1900s luggage cart.
Yeah, the luggage cart, or
As you do.
Everybody does, or new driveways, or landscaping, or you literally, I think, have done just about everything you could do for a property now. It seems like
almost.
Like maybe a new roof you haven't done yet. But
well, I did redo the porch.
Okay, that counts.
Great, because after this, I've got some electrical stuff that I can use.
I just had the city stop by today and give me a lecture on electrical.
Oh no!
Like, you can do this yourself, and I was like, I don't.
Okay, so not electrical yet.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Just hold the wire and cut, and don't touch them both at the same time. You'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a chance you could die. It's fun.
Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't sound fun.
On the edge.
I won't mention what city that was.
No, don't.
caught me
So there's
out.
one other cool fact about Bret that I absolutely love that I didn't warn him I was going to ask about.
This is
Oh,
new to
no.
me.
In your studio, aka garage, you have something that I think is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. That's pretty.
The buffalo.
The
I
buffalo.
love my buffalo.
Talk about your
Go
buffalo.
on.
I have a taxidermied buffalo head, which was actually the reason I converted the garage into
Yeah.
my workshop studio because he didn't fit in my house.
Talk about building around an idea.
Yeah.
This.
What to say about Buffy, who is not named after the Disneyland or Country Bear buffalo?
As Cameron's
which is Buff.
geeking out over in the corner.
Vampire Slayer?
No.
Oh, well.
After my stuffed animal that I had as a child.
Well, that's also adorable. So, we
So
accept
how
it.
close, how easy was it to get Buffy to your garage?
It was not easy. Even though, he's full of foam, he's still very heavy. I found Buffy on my birthday a couple of years ago. I set out that morning and jokingly said to my friend, I really regret not buying this buffalo head I had found at a flea market the year before.
What a sentence.
I know, right? This is my life, Cameron. This is my life. And I said, today, I'm buying a buffalo head. And we
Just
laughed.
speaking that into existence.
Just
I
like
love
putting it out to the universe, as Oprah would say. Hi-oh.
You're welcome to sit here too.
Back.
Yeah. Surprise. Thanks for letting me fill your seat tonight, Oprah.
That's true.
Anyway, long story short, last place we went to that day was a hat shop, and we walked in and there was a buffalo head on the back wall, and it was like one of those movie moments. It was like, ah.
Did you walk in and say, how many monies for the
I
buffalo?
was just like, I bet bad to buy.
Pretty darn close.
Just throw
Yeah.
your wallet.
And put it in the back of the truck and drove it all the way down to Southern California.
And so talk about the style of your studio, because I think that's pretty cool
The
too.
style is, I guess, modern rustic with a heavy national park influence, I think
Yeah.
is the best way to...
It always reminds me of Humphrey the Bear.
Oh, yes.
Like, I literally think of that
Yeah.
cartoon every time I walk in
That
there.
is a compliment. Thank you.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Now I
know.
need a Humphrey the Bear poster.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if you have a Humphrey the Bear poster, send
Go
it to us,
internet.
and we'll make sure Bret gets
Yes,
it.
please.
Because that's the best way to get it, is you ask the internet, and then
Oh.
things
They
appear,
make
right?
things happen.
The internet is the universe.
We
now.
do have a P.O. box, so
Send
There
it
you
to
go.
us.
There you go.
Will it fit in a P.O. box?
we'll make it
I mean,
work.
I'd like a big poster.
We'll,
Maybe
If it
just
can fit in a P.O. box,
just
it might be
direct
too
message
small.
me on Twitter, and we'll figure it out.
If
It'll
you're like,
it'll
you know
be
what?
great.
If you're gonna send it to the P.O. box, just don't send
I mean,
it.
if we're putting it out to the internet, can we be a little more specific? I'm looking
These
for
are the
24 by
dimensions.
36 minimum. If it has a frame, that's great, but I'd like it to be real wood.
You're gonna reframe it anyway.
I will. Let's be
Like,
honest. I'm really excited though because this year for my birthday I'm going to Yellowstone and it'll be the first time that I see buffalo in person.
Really?
you're gonna love it.
I can't believe it's taken me this long, but I'm really excited about that.
That's really
As I'm
cool.
sure you know from having a head, they're huge.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, you're never mind.
Good.
Oh,
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to tell that story, so I just stopped. Anyway,
We're going to hear about it later. We'll let you
Yeah,
know.
we'll hear about it after the show and see if
buffalo are
you.
huge.
Yes, that is true. I don't even know what story you're gonna tell.
I'm very excited.
move
I'm
on.
very excited.
Just move on.
Before we move on to our final segment for the night, we've been watching the Twitters and the internets, and we've seen your threats really is what it comes down to, right?
Threats?
There's been threats
There have been threats.
that if we don't open that box, that something might happen to you, Cameron.
Brett.
Oh, yeah,
So we're gonna let
Brett's
Bret open the box,
Brett.
What?
and you get to turn it around and show everybody
Oh, I have
what's
to show
inside
everybody?
the box.
Can I take
What's in
what's
the
in
box?
it first?
Yeah, you can totally take what's in it. Just remember, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. All right, now you can show.
What is it for
Oh,
folks at
excuse me.
home?
It's candy.
The attaché is full of Starburst, fruit gushers, and that's all.
And not a backgammon game.
That's it. That's
All
the
right.
mystery.
So when we have guests on the show, we like to ask them fast 5 questions. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You'll answer them as quickly as you can, and if you're lucky, they won't comment too much.
You're not going to be lucky.
We talked
We
a
sat here for like
lot.
30 minutes before the show. I know how much they talk.
Yeah, you're in trouble. All right, first one. Favorite Disney attraction?
Huh. The train.
Not
Disneyland
surprised.
Railroad.
Capo.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Specifically?
Specifically?
Yeah.
Wood-fired pizza with avocado and lemon zest.
Yeah!
Good answer. Best vacation destination?
Best vacation destination? Ooh.
I know.
Don't do national parks. It's on your head.
No, I'm gonna say the Pacific Northwest though. North of Seattle, Puget Sound area is one of my favorite places.
Very good choice. Best Disney villain.
Jafar.
Why?
I love the animation. I love the design of him, and I just love his character.
The voice is awesome too.
Yeah.
And your favorite Star Wars character.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting you in trouble
I
here.
was a member of the Star Wars fan club.
I did not know that.
Years.
Huh, learned
It's
something
Jack
new.
Porkins,
Yeah,
isn't it?
back before it was cool. I just want to say.
Before you were wearing bow ties, Mr.
Those
Daps.
Yeah.
web shows.
Who did you say?
It's Porkins.
It's not.
It's definitely Porkins.
No, it's not
right?
Porkins.
Well, then you're wrong.
He was part of the Star Wars fan club, not the Porkins fan club.
Porkins fan club for life.
No.
What was the first one that popped into your head?
I mean, Darth Vader.
Okay.
Good
I
choice.
That's a
think
good choice.
It's a solid, good choice. Okay.
No, I think
Shiny Pants Vader or
Thank you.
like
which movie Vader?
yeah, see it.
You mean whether the cape goes
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Symmetrical helmet or
This is
not.
why he's
Is it
on Geeks
episode
Corner.
1 Vader?
It's not episode 1 Vader. It's not episode 1 through 3, I can tell you that.
I was gonna say it's episode 2 with the sand. That's
Of
his
course.
favorite
I
Vader.
did sit next to the guy who played Vader in Rogue One. At
Ah,
Comic-Con I
that's
did
cool.
last
That's
year.
fun.
That's
Very
pretty cool.
nice chap. Very nice chap.
Very tall chap, I'm assuming.
What's that?
Tall chap.
Very tall.
There we are.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Probably Empire Vader.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I love the shot when he comes into the Hoth base right when the Millennium Falcon's taking off.
Well, that was
That
the
is
right
one of
answer,
the best.
so.
Yep.
Okay.
That
it was the
that was
only
correct
answer actually,
Yeah.
so
Well
very
done.
very well done.
We were hoping that's what you were gonna say.
And
Otherwise,
as much as we'd hope, we are running out of time for tonight.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com. That's thegeekscorner.com, where you can watch all the other times that we've talked about stuff and things.
go over to dapsmagic.com, check out all the news that we couldn't fit into the show, check it out as it happens, and subscribe to our mailing list.
And also make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can catch everything that we post. We're posting a lot. And where can they find you on the internet?
Bret Iwan VO on Instagram, Bungalow Modern on Instagram, or Iwan Locomotive Works on Instagram.
Beautiful.
I'm all about the IG.
That's where it is.
Thank you so much for being on the show
Thanks for
tonight,
having me,
Bret.
guys.
And we'll see you all around the corner.